Hey y'all, Jesse Petersen here with Let's Make Art. I'm a mixed media artist and I love art journaling, and I have a fun project for you today. We're gonna start a whole new theme. So we're gonna talk about that, but here is the project that we're gonna do. I'm excited about this. It says be intentional. It's got a little bee on it. We're gonna do some fun things with texture and texture paste. But I wanna introduce you to the theme because we like to work in a theme and do a couple projects with that. And this month's theme is all about rituals.
Oh.
So what is a ritual anyway, right?
Yes,
Whether
please.
this is Keenan, by the way. Did I not introduce you? I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
Keenan?
I can't remember that far back.
He's our art cheerleader, cameraman, so we run with his voices. If you haven't been here before, this is how we do it.
This is how we roll. This is our ritual.
Yeah, it is our ritual. Keenan, genius. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, whether it's dinner with family or filming with Keenan. Or daily commute, people practice some sort of ritual almost every day. Simply put, it's doing something on a regular basis. When we adopt a routine, it removes the hard decision of how and when to start. This art journal box is all about exploring rituals in our lives and our art making practice. If you're looking for ways to jumpstart your creativity with more energy and focus, try committing to a regular time or space to work. Join us to create beautiful pages in your journal as reminders of meaningful rituals you'd like to start while experimenting with Lunar Paste and Dilution Shimmer Paint, and I'm excited about that. So this is Lunar Paste, and it's a texture paste, and it's awesome. So I'm gonna tell you about all the supplies that are in the box, and then we'll talk about what we need for this project. So Lunar Paste is just luscious. Can they see that? Like how pretty
it looks
and shiny it is?
so luscious.
All right. And we're gonna use white linen paint. You can never have enough white paint around to get contrast, so it's gonna be good. And this is black marble shimmer paint. Now, I want you to notice that this says paint and that says shimmer paint, and it's because there is just this beautiful shimmer in this paint that just makes it wow. We're not gonna use it on this project, but we're gonna use it on another one, so stay tuned for that. And we always have a little thing of Yes paste in here, and it's just this paste. I usually just go with the big guy, because I'm committed. Nice. But this will last you a long time. And we're also going to use this gold Faber watercolor pencil in another project as well. For this project, you're going to want to have a palette knife because we're going to scrape this texture across this stencil right here that I designed. This is our Honeycomb art stencil.
What?
Isn't that cool? So excited. So we're gonna need that for that, and I also like to use it with my Yes paste. We're gonna use a round 8 brush, and we're also going to use the collage paper for this month. And I printed this in-house. It may look a little different than what's in your box, but it'll be similar for tutorial purposes. All right, and then you also have this mixed media art journal. I haven't talked about this in a while, but it is just made specifically for us, and we worked with Carpe Diem to make it, and it has just this beautiful mixed media paper. It's a silk linen, and I just love it. It's just good. Custom. It holds up to all the things we want to do.
I said the word custom. I was excited about that paper.
It is. They made it just for us. And we told them what we wanted with it and everything. It was really cool. Okay, so let's get started. Oh wait, I'm gonna interrupt myself really fast. I forgot to read the prompt, which is kind of a big deal, and set an intention. So you can get back to what me was saying a minute ago. Right now we're gonna do this. Don't laugh, Keenan.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, I forgot to say the prompt, and you gotta hear that in the beginning. And this prompt is awesome. So if you're new here, we use a prompt and a technique card, and we put them together to make projects, and you can mix and match yours however you want. And some people really love the prompts and they like journaling and incorporating those in their journal, and sometimes people just throw out that prompt and they go straight to the technique. It's whatever you want to do, that's fine. But I want you to have the option, so here's the prompt.
Thank you.
The prompt is called morning. What is your morning ritual? Are there things you'd like to add or subtract from the list of things you do that would serve you better? Are there ways you can begin your day that would help you be more intentional? Let's create visual reminders to help us be more intentional in our art journals. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a visual reminder like this in our journal. And the other thing that I like to do, and that's why we had to interrupt this video, is to set an intention, which is so funny because this is about being intentional.
Very serendipitous.
It's so easy to just start your day and keep going without really like focusing in on like these are the things, right? So this is why this is so important. So look, okay, I know it feels silly, but we're gonna take a deep breath.
Deep breath.
And now you can start with the right intention. And I love thinking about my morning rituals because it helps me kind of decide and focus on what the right thing is. So do you have a morning ritual, Keenan?
Yes, every morning I turn off my alarm. I say, not today, alarm. What about you?
Well, I usually wake up before my alarm. My brain just wakes up before, and then I'm like, yeah, no. So that's that. But I usually try to do a meditation in the morning, and if my morning gets away from me, then I try to do it in the car. I mean, I can't close my eyes while I'm doing a meditation in my car, but it still like just helps me like take a breath.
Yeah.
And I like to do that before I make art, and I think it's really important to, you know, just rethink your rituals in those ways. Anyway, okay, back to the making the thing. Okay, so we can take this and set it aside and get our journal ready. You know I like my journal clip, a rusty clip. Spin this back, get a nice flat page here. Maybe I'll just get that.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hold them both down. Oh, you tricked me.
Well, I was gonna, and then I was like, this one's staying down pretty good, so this
That's
just
true. That
right
right side's doing a great job.
Thank you. Okay, so really pumped about this. Also, before you get started, I forgot to tell you that you're gonna need a little tape to tape down that stencil. If you need tape, go grab it. Pause it, you know, whatever you gotta do. Okay, so let's get some of this luscious Lunar Paste out. We're gonna mix this paste to get like a soft color for our background. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of that and put it on my palette. Get them clean. Well, I'm gonna use that again in a minute anyway, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna get some white. Now, one of the things that I like to think about when I'm mixing paint, and if you're new at mixing paint, is if you're trying to mix something light and subtle like what we're gonna do, you wanna mix the gold into the white and not the other way around, because then you'll be using a lot more paint to get it the color that you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get a little bit of my gold and then bring my white over here and see if I can get a beigey kind of color. Almost a little bit darker than our tape actually is what we're going for.
Oh, that's a good gauge.
And that's one thing that I like to, if I'm thinking, you know, there's a certain value of color I want, I'll look around and see if I can't mix it to that value. I'm gonna just drag a little bit more of that gold over and more white. And that's a little bit lighter than I want, so I'm gonna bring a little bit more gold. And sometimes you just gotta keep mixing until you get it there. And if I know it's gonna be something I'm gonna do a whole page with, then I wanna have enough mixed already that I'm not gonna run out, that I'm gonna be good to get this whole page going here. That's feeling good. Okay, I'm gonna wet my brush just a titch. And then I'm just gonna go in and add this. I'm not gonna go to the edge. You can if you want. It's up to you. And I like that this mixed color still has like a little bit of a shimmer still. Just a little titch of shimmer.
It's a nice color.
Thanks, I like it. And I think it's just gonna be a nice background for what we're gonna do next. And if you have a bigger brush, like you got the oval mop brush laying around, you could probably do this a little quicker. This is just what I got.
I like the unfinished look by not going to the border of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my fave.
I think I do it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to define what that is, so you don't like absentmindedly go to the edge or something, you can do that border first and then paint in.
That's how I mow my lawn. You know, I define the edge and then I work on the middle.
For real? That's what you do?
Yeah, I have to, otherwise I'll just get confused or
start mowing somebody else's lawn?
Yeah, or be bored or something. Yeah. I'll just have one random strip going through my entire neighborhood.
I really think that you should come over to my house and demonstrate this for me, because I don't know how to do that.
Nice try. I see what you're doing.
I was a waitress at a restaurant with my brother, and he would get me like that all the time. He like, you're just so good at cutting the pie for these plates. Can you show me how you do that again? One more time. I'm like, hold on a minute. What's going on? He was flattering me. I was like, yeah, I'm so good at cutting pie. Get out of here, James. It's hard being the youngest, you know?
Yeah, it is. I get it.
That's when I worked at Waffle House.
The old Waffle House. The house of waffles, as they say.
If you're ever had their chocolate cream pie, though.
I have never had that.
What about their pecan pie?
I don't generally eat pie unless it's pumpkin.
They don't have pumpkin pie that I know of.
That's okay.
All right, we're getting there. I didn't mix enough paint, so I'm gonna have to make some more paint. And this Lunar Paste is thicker, so it feels a little bit different than your regular acrylic paint, even when we mix it down.
It's thicker?
Yeah, the paste is.
Interesting.
Because its true purpose is for the texture that we're about to do.
Ah.
But since I can't put 100 million paints in the subscription box, I got to get creative, and I really wanted a nice neutral tone behind this, and I was like, what if we mix this with this? And it worked.
It's deceiving calling something Lunar Paste and it's thick. How's it supposed to float?
What about lunar float? What is happening right now? I think it's because it's like shiny, and so then it's like, spacey maybe.
That makes sense.
Or it's so cool and otherworldly that they couldn't not make
out
it
of this world.
No, you're gonna love it so much you're gonna be over the moon for it. That's why I gotta love it.
That's what it was.
That's it. That's what it was. No, I'll have to ask them. Why did you guys name this product this? I gotta know now.
And then just keep pressing. No, seriously, why?
No, I need to know.
Why did you? No, I need to know.
I do like to know the history behind why somebody named something.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Okay, and y'all don't gotta be precious. We're just doing a background, so it's gonna be great. I mean, it's not the hero of our page. It's just setting the tone. Setting the tone. We can speed this process up by hitting it with our heat gun. Now, I always say this, but just in case, we'll lift that page up so that airflow can actually go through to the paper to dry it. And then you can hit the other side to keep it from buckling as much.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. Also, this is better than a blow dryer. It looks like a blow dryer, but it's better than a blow dryer.
Because it's gentler.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not
loud.
Loud.
And it doesn't blow the air with a lot of force. So you're not blowing stuff all over your desk. If this is a blow dryer, this would be like crazy. And I feel like it's hot, but not like one of those industrial heat guns where you feel like you're gonna burn your finger if it got in the way. Okay, it's feeling good. Looking dry. Next step, it's gonna get our, actually I already have one that is dirty. This is what yours is gonna look like after you get crazy with it. So we'll just leave that there so you guys know what it looks like if you're looking for it on the website. Let's put it back over here. Okay, but this tape might not have any more life in it. And you can clean your stencil too right after. It may stain a little bit.
Staining's okay.
I think that's good enough. Okay. And you can decide if you want to turn it around. If you want these 3 guys down there at the bottom. I kind of like that, so I'm going to go with that. And I designed this to fit your journal page perfectly.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Anytime. I like to make things easy and fun. So I'm gonna put this tape right there. I got some gold. But I've been arting, you can tell because I got it on my hands. Somebody in the Facebook group said that I've been arting. I was like, all right, it's cool, like it.
Yeah. I've been arting.
All right, I'm just gonna lift this guy under there and then it will stay. You just wanna put enough tape where your stencil is gonna stay flat. And since we painted on our page, it's lifting up a bit. But that's okay, because we'll just take our, since I taped it underneath there, you know, then we can just use our clip to keep it down. And you can use your hand too as you're scraping across. And, you know, if it's not perfect, it's gonna be fine.
We don't have time for perfect. You know, we got time for our art zen.
Mindful art making.
Mindful art making,
what we're doing
yes.
Here. Okay, this is the best part. So excited. I mean, it's all fun, but what did I do with that lunar paste? Oh, it's behind my water.
There it is, peekaboo.
All right, so I like to start at the top. You can do whatever you want. And look how just thick and luscious that is.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna start right here and I'm gonna scrape across. See how I'm just scraping?
Oh.
And when I'm doing that, I'm just making sure my stencil is flat. And so I'm kind of keeping my hand there to keep it as flat as possible.
Ah, flat against the paper. Less lifting.
Yeah. And you know, eventually we're gonna lift it off, so it's no big deal as long as it's not shifting.
While you paste.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of cool for them not to be perfectly in there, because it kind of gives it a cool texture too. So
I agree with that fully.
yeah, I see how some of them don't have all the paste in it. I'm okay with that. But if you want it to be more filled in, just put some more there, scrape it across, no big deal. So see, that guy doesn't have very much in there. If you want that to be full, just put it in.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. I love it.
I would like to be able to just grab a big scoop of that stuff and spread it around. That's satisfying.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh no. I'm just saying me personally
Oh.
would like to do that. Keenan personally.
Sorry, I know my arm's in the way, but I kind of hold it down. So
You're
you'll be able to
okay.
see what I'm doing in a second. All right. The proof is in the lunar paste here. Just gonna carefully peel my tape back. I'm not gonna move my stencil yet until I get most of my tape off, because I did that little tuck on that one and that might prove to be a little bit more difficult. So
The tuck is necessary.
It was necessary in this scenario.
No stencil tuck.
Okay, so I got all the tape off with that one piece, and then I'm just gonna pull it that way. And you don't wanna let this dry, because then your paste or whatever is gonna stick to your stencil. So you wanna try to do this while it's still wet. And look at that.
That looks sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited. Whoop. Put that somewhere that you don't care about it getting dirty. All right. And at that juncture, you could wash it off with a baby wipe, or go wash it in the sink, or a wet paper towel. And you could do that now while you're waiting for this to dry. And you know, I got a little bit of this on the edge. I'm okay with that. Whoop, just smeared it some more. It's cool. It's just more character. It's fine. It's great. Okay, so you're gonna let this dry for a little bit until it's totally dry. Like, so that might take some time. So yeah, go wash your stencil, get a snack, and be right back. This is looking dry. I'm liking it. I'm gonna just clip this down so it'll stay put here. Oh, what do you think, Keenan?
I love it. It's shimmery.
So shimmery.
It's lunary.
I didn't mention, okay, so Lunar Paste is the type of texture paste that we're working with. I didn't mention that it's called slippery when wet, which I don't know why they called it that. It's a kind of silly name. But if you're looking for this particular color, like you want to buy it on our website or something, that's what it's called.
What a great color.
It's a great color. I love it so much.
It's like gold or something.
Just, yeah, they're like getting creative with their names.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Cool. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. Get our paper.
Okay, caught me off guard. I think that's so funny that they call it slippery when wet.
I don't know.
It's like a caution sign.
Okay, so I did this. I have to show you. This is a sneak peek of another project we're gonna do with that paste. And when we cut that moon out, we're actually going to put our Lunar Paste right on top of there and do this. So I'm going to do that now for my next project. Depending on which project you decide to do first, that will matter. But it's all right. So that's there for that other project.
It's a very intentional move, Jessie.
Well, I just don't want them to be like, I tore my paper wrong, so now I can't do this project like that. So I was just like, hey, we're really being scrappy with the amount of paper we're using here.
I like that.
Thanks. So yeah, so we're thinking about our morning ritual, and I really liked the idea of having something, you know, to help us have a reminder to be more intentional. So we're going to cut out this be intentional. If you wanted to do lettering or something else instead of using this for be intentional, you can make it a pun and do BEE intentional.
Ooh.
Because they're gonna put the B on it, you know.
Can make it a cheer. B. I said B. Intentional.
I don't know. I think my mornings get away from me really easily. So like, I need all the help I can get.
They do. Mornings go by like that.
Okay, so you can cut this out with scissors or an X-Acto. You probably don't even need a ruler. You can probably just follow the line that I gave you there, but it's gonna do that really fast and cut that out. We have a really great copywriting team that makes sure that I don't spell stuff wrong when I'm designing and stuff. And I was like, hey Mary, should I have 2 E's or will someone think that I spelled that wrong? She was like, I'm gonna need you to put B. I was like, all right.
Another great example of being intentional.
Yeah. And I love that support that I get from them and trying to be grammatically correct and deciding, you know, when it's the right time to do those kind of things.
I like to be grammatically incorrect. Just to try and, you know, it gets people to talk to you. And they'd be like, oh, did you know? I'm like, oh, what's your name? You know?
Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this right here and then I'm gonna tear it how I wanna tear it. But see, we're not gonna have any problem getting that circle out when we need it later. Okay. I'm just gonna tear right on the edge. I don't think yours is gonna have a white border because I printed this in-house, but just tear the edge. That's what we're going for here.
I like the look of a torn piece of paper.
I just really like tearing paper. And I've said that before, and I've even said how much I love watching those videos back in the day of babies laughing at paper getting torn, but it's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's right. I remember those videos.
Okay, and then I want this bee. Now you've got different bees to choose from, but I kind of like this one, so I'm good with that. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come in here and cut it out, and then I'm gonna tear the edge after I cut it, because I feel like that's easier than trying to tear it off of the page, you know? And this one, I kind of like the idea of kind of tearing it to the shape of the bee more. So just like a little bit more like that.
So the bee's not alone?
What do you mean?
You got the similar shape, so the bee's not alone. It needs a buddy.
I'm not putting two bees on there. Let's...
Never mind. I confused myself.
Oh, so the space is kind of like hugging the bee, like making them feel comfy and cozy in the spot. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
Perfect.
I feel like those little tears are like so much harder than big tears. But I just put my hand where I for real don't want it to get torn, and then I force it to not get torn in the wrong spot. So that works for me. Put that right there. I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. I'm liking that. I just want that bottom part off too. You could just keep tearing, get crazy with it, but I think I'm feeling good about that. This just feels so calm.
It does. It looks so nice.
I just like how the light comes in my house in the morning or wherever I'm at, how it changes the way things look. And I just like the idea of you know, I'm being busy, but like a bee, but you know, I'm being intentional too when I get to work for my day, for whatever it is.
I feel like bees are a great example of being intentional, because they are busy little bees, but they are always collecting pollen.
Yeah, everything
You know?
all works together.
Yeah. They're a great example.
I just love this color of this paste because it feels like morning light and it feels like honey. It just feels good. I like it. Okay, I'm just putting some Yes Paste on my paper, and I put a big old glob on there, and then I'm just gonna push it around.
Kind of looks like you have peanut butter on your palette knife.
Oh, because I still have some of that.
Mm-hmm, the gold.
And it's kind of mixing with
I'm sorry, the slippery when wet color.
Okay. That's just silly name, huh? So I'm just looking at the space between here and here and kind of matching it. That's all kind of makes it feel, I don't know, aesthetically balanced. So that's feeling good. I'm gonna get my bee.
Yes Paste is so cool.
Yep, if you get it on your mat, it'll wash right off, no big deal. Now I'm gonna put this kind of same deal, even space between the sides and the top. Use my one finger that doesn't have glue on it to pat it down nice. And you always got your paint water you can get your Yes Paste off with. Well, that was a successful tear. I'm being very conservative with my paper towel. All right, got one more to glue. I just think it's fun to journal something like that you want to be reminded of, or whatever. Because yeah, you can look back at this later and be like, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to be more intentional. And man, I'm really doing that in these kind of ways. But just the act of making it, I think, kind of solidifies it in your brain too. Like, helps you process that desire to be intentional. We did it. Woo, woo. That's our project. This was so fun. We had a good time exploring textures with this really just shimmery, beautiful lunar paste. And we'll use that stencil in a different way on another project. So I just want to explore stencils some more, and we're just having a good time. And if you want to like change this up, you could maybe choose a different sentiment or whatever, make it yours. We love it when you share your art with us, and you can give us some feedback on how you like doing this with us. You can share your artwork at Let's Make Art on our Facebook group, at Let's Make Art Journals. Or you can use that same hashtag, Let's Make Art Journals, on Instagram if you want to share what you made there. And it's just so fun. We have such a fun community that is making this along with us and cheering us on. And I would love to hear more about your morning rituals or things that help you be intentional, because we can learn from each other. And I love that so much. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye.